Hello, this is Robert Pulse, and I'm recording this for a meeting that's scheduled with Kristin Barcomb, who is my consultant on World War I records. So let's share the screen. This screen shows you how large the record collection is that I've collected on William Kern. This is specifically on this today is going to be specifically on William Kern. And so this will show you how large the records are. So I'm willing to share any of these records with you. Just let me know which ones you want. And then this is shows you the family that William Kern is part of. And they have 13 children, Joseph and Margarita. And William is second to last. Okay. And just to show you, let's see if this will work. Ah, it worked this time. Okay, this is how William fits into the total picture for ancestors. Quite a bit of work to do here and here. All righty, so that's that. Now, this is my worksheet for William Bernard Kern. Use this for all of my family members. Basically, it's got the core data up here. And then it starts out with a timeline. So what we're interested in starts in here with this draft registration, then the draft board approval of his agricultural deferment. Then the next thing that happens to him is his father dies. Here's the obit for his father. Here's the burial of his father. Same day that the burial of his father occurs, he returns the draft board questionnaire. He was the hog butcher for the family. So on January 1st each year, he butchered the hogs for the family. Just a little tidbit, another family story, but I have a picture that backs that one up. Here's the will of his father that's being probated. His mother, in January 23rd, January 1918, she contracts this disease, which I cannot pronounce very well, and begins a long decline to her death. So that's just 30 days after his father died. He's notified that the draft board has classified him 1A in a few days later. His file was forwarded to the district board for review, and he had to attend. I assume his father had signed up for a exhibit, and somebody had to take and go there and do that for him. I assume that was Bernard, William Bernard. It could have been any of the brothers, though. There are quite a few of them. And then on the 29th March 1918, the local board reclassified him as 2C. We've gone through all this before. Here's what the classification 2C deferment is. Here's the newspaper articles that are showing it. That's a newspaper article showing that he's classified 2C. And then the local draft board mailed him a notice to report for a physical on the 1st of July 1918. Now, the 23rd of July 1918, his mother died. I assume she was very ill on the 1st of July 1918. So whether he ever got that message, I don't know, because he was moving between his brother's home, where he was working as a farm laborer, and his mother's home, where she was very ill. So here she died. This is 3 months later. He is suing his brother for partitioning of the sale of the property of their father, Joseph Kern. I can only guess from this that John, who's the second oldest brother, wasn't cooperating with distributing the funds, and so he had to go to court and get it. There was a commissioner sale October of 1918, and there was the sale of the property on the 24th of October. There was some sort of settlement for $13,750. Now, I don't know if William got all of that or that was divided between the 13 surviving members of his father's family. possibly got it all. Then World War I ended. Then after that, a month later, the will is logged, and there he is doing the family butcher again. Then he marries his wife, which is my grandmother, Margaret, and so they had a honeymoon in Chicago, and there's the notice of their wedding, and they began their life together as he was a farmhand in Cynthia, Indiana, and then the commissioner filed the final report on the property. And 9 months later, which was November 1919, roughly, he bought property in Park Heights Estate. It looks like something like this. Let's see if that'll come up. Oops, bring it over. And lots 12 and 13 are where he settled and built his home. Okay. Then he's butchering hogs again. The 1920 census, he's living on Harmony Road. That's not on this property up here. But in the 1920 book, the city directory, he went to work for the Illinois Central Freight Line, and he's at 300 Eichelhard Avenue, which appears that 300 and 3300 Eichelhard Avenue are the same location. Some places a long time it calls it 300, sometimes it calls it 3300. So I don't know exactly when the numbers changed or if it was a typo or something. So anyway, it just keeps on going. He's living on Eichelhard Avenue. Here's another 300 Eichelhard Avenue. Here's his children being born, and so on and so on and so on. So let's go back to the military records, just the ones interested in. Okay, so I've got a separate section on that. Here's his draft registration. Actually, it looks better with the color image of that. I have 5 or 6 copies of this. And I noticed that this is red up here. I don't know what that means, 934 red. But anyway, all the colors as you've shown me in the past mean something. So I have a color version of it. I don't know where I found that because I have to go back and see where that was, but that was quite interesting. That's all draft card stuff. This is all the stuff, communications that we had back and forth on this. This is his father's death. I put that in there so I had a point of contact, and I'll go back to that in a minute. And this is how your communications have come in and how I documented them. And then here's the newspaper articles. So we need to take and do the JPEG so we can read it. So he's buried in this article someplace. I'm not going to take and spend the time right now trying to find it. And he's buried in this article. And then this was your comment here. And this is your comment here. And so on, so on, so on, so on. Here are people that I have decided are duplicate William Kerns in the same area that are showing up in the records. Here's the communications with the National Archives that I've made, some of which you've been copied on. You have been copied on all of it. Here's the communications with the Willard Library in Evansville, Indiana. Generally, they were not able to find a copy of any of the any military activity for him. And then here's my correspondence with you. So we've got another subject on Gene Kern to take and talk about, but this is just on William Kern today. Okay, and then I have all this documentation. Where is it? There we go. And I have, oops. Here's There's all the stuff on Joseph Kern and Margaret Kern's death. Here's the Browning database, which is a Evansville database, which is very useful. All the information on them, the stone, and stuff like that, if you want any of this. So just tell me what you want, and I'll be glad to take and send the information to you. I just didn't feel like it would, everything would be buried if I sent you everything at once. So just details of all the articles. There's lots and lots of there's the actual will that after it was recorded. Various information. So anyway, I'm getting ready for our July meeting, and I thought this might be useful. So you have a good one.